fries?
All your old favorites. Back for the big double cheeseburger reunion at McDonald's.
And loving it.
We're reuniting the taste of our big double cheeseburger and
Would you believe?
a new large order of hot golden French fries.
Let's commence to eat.
So hurry, McDonald's big double cheeseburger reunion won't last.
Don't tell me this won't last.
It won't last.
I asked you not to tell me that.
What a time this was. So 1988, I felt for me was a really different time. And I was about 10 years old, going to the 4th grade, having to learn my multiplication tables, my log division, my fractions, history, Christopher Columbus and all that stuff, and learning about science, astronomy, things like that. I mean, but we're looking at McDonald's. This was a golden age too, with McDonald's and Happy Meal toys, and I felt it was the time that we got away from the 70s, but we weren't near the golden age of black comedy, which I figured was the 90s. The golden age of black comedy, meaning Martin Lawrence and Doo Brown and Bernie Mac and Cedric the Entertainer and Steve Harvey, all that stuff. What a time this was. Now this was like the last time you see all your favorite TV stars together. Everybody. You had Gilligan, you had the Skipper, you had the Professor. Now this, I think something got. I don't know if they showed it or not, but there were these 3 fat guys that were doing the whole bit, right? And they were tossing a small sailboat around. I thought I saw that before they did all this nonsense. Everybody's gone except for Tina Louise. Tina Louise outlived everybody, isn't it? I mean, that's strange. I don't know what she looks like now. Don't think she looks desirable at her age, in her 80s. And it was strange to see the Howells. I thought, to me, now the development of film and television and quality, people used film strips, right? Because over 100 years ago, they tried to use glass plates, and Thomas Edison was like, no, we're going to use film strips. And then everybody went from the theater, acting on stage, Romeo and Juliet and Shakespeare, and, trying to do TV, like shows as plays, right? You go to see Othello, you went to see some kind of a play. I have a history book about that. And we went from that to silent film to film with sound and Technicolor, and then television shows. So the quality of shows went from black and white to color, and you'd see the pops and fizzles of old footage of old things. So it was like, to me, at 10 years old, it was like a long time ago. Everything was so old looking. Oh my gosh, it's like 2 corpses walking in. Everybody was still alive at this time, right? Yeah, that's everyone. Holy crap. And, Mr. Magoo there, he didn't have much of his memory there, but, he kind of knew, okay, dress up properly, and this is everyone, okay. We're not doing the TV show. Okay, that's over. Yeah, the Harlem Globetrotters aren't here. Okay, it's just us, and this is it. Because the guy who did the voice of Mr. Magoo, he passed away a year later. Natalie Holloway passed away in 1991, and Alan Hale Jr. in 1990. So, yeah, this was the last time everybody was together, all the cast. But not just this. And this was like, I think it was a very Brady Christmas. This had to have been the late 80s. I think Robert Reed, I guess this is Robert Reed. This is the dad, right? This after this, I think he gotten sick later on and died in 92 when I started high school. So you had this, you had Gilligan's Island, and there was another reunion. And this was like one of the first reunions that the cast of the 1966 Batman movie and TV show with Adam West and Burt Ward. And you got, that's Frank Gorshin, who lived through like 2005, did the Batman, remember? And you had almost everybody was here. I think the actor who played Commissioner Gordon, Chief Editor, they long died. But this is when you could have cigarettes. You could have cigarettes on the set. Look how she fucking moves, Julie Newmar, right? And I think I saw her in something recently. She still doesn't look bad at her age. Currently, she's like taking care of her son who has special needs. Yeah, look at how she looks. I still got it at age something or other. Cesar Romero did was not able to be there, but I think he was part of it. I was trying to find the. I saw that one interview where he was upset that the Batman '89 movie was not for kids. Well, the movies were changing, the times were changing. Look at that kick she did. That was pretty cool. And these are like good friends, in a time where you're not sure if people were tolerant. Of course, civil rights movements and '70s, and they're all good friends. She's kind of like the Uhura of the Batman show, but you know they took turns being Catwoman, Eartha Kitt, and Julie Newmar. It was a fun time. Three Catwomen total with Lee Merriweather. Yeah, so he had three Catwomen. So yeah, they were all good friends. Everybody's gone except for Julie Newmar and Lee Merriweather, and Bert, of course, doing some singing there. There's Cesar Romero. He died in the early '90s or late '90s. I forgot. That was Cesar Romero there. But yeah, he didn't like the '89 movie was not for kids. He wanted everything to be for kids, and he wouldn't shave his mustache. I'm thinking of when Gene Hackman played Lex Luthor. He had the director had tricked him by wearing a fake mustache, and then he pulled off the mustache. He said, "Oh, okay." But I do believe that is yeah. So all these actors got together, and one by one, people passed away. I had written to Yvonne Craig a few times on my Hotmail years ago. And there's Alan Napier, who this is the last. I think, yeah, he didn't really ask many questions, or he talked over him. So this was the last time he was around to do anything like this. So this was the last time he had everybody from everything. Everybody was still alive from all the TV shows, all the old TV shows. Oh, I think I found it.
I read the review on it in Daily Variety. And what did they say? I haven't seen it yet. It was a little mixed, I must say. The thing that I was amazed at, the critics said, don't take the children.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's different. That's far correct. The violence in it is pretty severe. I guess. And they said it's not a picture for children, which is Batman was such a popular thing with the kids.
Oh yeah.
So now they're telling you not to bring the children. Go ahead, Julie.
He died just at that moment.
Batman, and our version was the wicked version, and there's many layers difference in that. More
see.
fun being wicked.
Julie Newmar's seen all the Batman movies, I bet.
Go ahead.
Hey, Van.
Yeah. And not only was it about the old TV shows, but it was like up until this moment in my life, I thought, well, I didn't think about anniversaries or reunions or anything like that. I would watch old TV shows of I Love Lucy and Gilligan's Island, because at that time, those shows were really still popular, right? And Three's Company and Archie Bunker, all those shows that end up being on, YouTube for pay or YouTube Red or on Antenna TV. But they were on network television, on regular channels all the time. I used to grow up on that stuff, right? So here we have what we call anniversaries. So this is the 50th anniversary of Superman. Up into Christopher Reeve and probably the Superboy TV show, but before Dean Cain, before Smallville and Brandon Routh and Henry Cavill and all that stuff, all those actors, and James Gunn's interfering. But we didn't think about anniversaries. Oh, this thing is 50 years old. This thing is 100 years old. What is it? Beetle Bailey's 40th anniversary from The Simpsons. Yeah, they had. Look at this. So yeah, this was like the 50th anniversary of Superman, and they had this is when you had merchandise all over the place, like Superman toys, the sort of the 12-inch dolls and all that stuff. Look at this. These are all different people who contributed. Jack Larson was the 50s Jimmy Olsen. Yeah. Christopher Reeve, Fred Willard. Good God.
Superman's 50th anniversary.
Yeah, this was on CBS a long time ago. And not just this one, not just Superman's 50th anniversary. This is Garfield the Cat's 10th anniversary special. And Jim Davis still owned Garfield way for a long time. And we didn't even have The Simpsons yet. We didn't have The Simpsons. We didn't have Beavis and Butthead. We didn't have South Park. No Family Guy. No King of the Hill. No, what is it? North. What is it called? Oh, Bob's Burgers or the other one. None of those shows. Nothing. No Adult Swim. All we had was Garfield cartoons that would come every other month or every month, once a month, and then Peanuts specials that weren't just they weren't just Christmas time or Halloween or Thanksgiving. They were about different things, about different times. I still remember the New Year's one, and then they had Kathy, like Kathy Guswhite. Oh yeah, this is the old stuff. This was the first guy who did the voice. I still remember that the whole thing ends with a giant air balloon that's shaped like Garfield. I don't even have to check. I just tuned into this video on YouTube. I don't have to check. I know it is because I used to start. 1988, of course, was the first time I would ever record. This is the Muppet movie that my family would put on tape because what we used to do. We used to go to Music Plus because there was a store before Blockbuster Video. We'd go to Music Plus. We'd get either the Betamax or VHS copy of Muppet Movie, and my mom would record it onto. We'd have two VCRs, so you record onto a tape. So that's how we did it, boys and girls. We copied things onto tape and then returned the original movie back to Music Plus. That's how we did it. I mean, here's some of the examples of the cool McDonald's toys. Okay, here it is. What's it changing into? What's it changing into? There it is. It's a Frybot. I think it's called. Maybe the other one's Frybot. This is the one where they have the 8 robots instead of 6. I remember these well. 1988 was also the last time that Cab Calloway. You remember the Blues Brothers? He'd do Minnie the Moocher. Yeah, this was the last time. We still had Johnny Carson. We still had Late Night with David Letterman. Yeah, Cab was 81. Yeah, this is the last time. 88 was the last time you'd see all your old stars still be around. All your old favorite TV shows from the 50s and the 60s still be around. Yeah, you remember this. And I have to remind you how important this was because all your favorite TV stars, all the Scoobies and the Winnie the Poohs and the Beanies and Cecils and the Slimers. That's a terrible Slimer, by the way. And there's a Ghostbuster right there. I mean, all your favorite stuff. So when I think of everywhere around the world, when I hear that oldies, I think of this. I don't think of anything else. What a different time. Yeah, 35 years ago. So to wrap this up, and you had all the Trix Rabbit, Sugar Crisp, Sugar Golden Crisp Bear, the Sugar Bear. You had the Honey Smacks Frog, the Flintstones, and Flintstone Vitamins, and Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, and you had cartoons in the afternoon. You had different toys. You just had different things, and it was like. If He-Man and the Masters of the Universe or Power Lords or if they symbolize the beginning of the 80s, the Ninja Turtles symbolize the end of the 80s, right? The Turtles was the last thing you saw. And that's about it. Ghostbusters, there were so many things, okay? It was at a time that, my brother had passed away at that point, but I felt alive. I felt like I wore, these days I wear black, gray, and white. I'm kind of in a different place now in my 40s. But when I was 10, I had Bugle Boy pants. I had Airwalk shoes. I had, green, I had neon color shirts, logo shirts, and green, short sleeve shirts. And I felt like I could do anything. I could go anywhere. Some of us were still alive. A lot of us were still alive. All the old stores were still around. the Fedcos, the Gemcos, Zodies was on its way out. The Music Pluses were still around. And that was about it. It was just a time when everyone was still here. You had the toys were better. McDonald's wasn't fucking expensive as it is now. I still remember the 25-cent. Remember the 25-cent Wednesday and 35-cent Tuesday hamburgers and cheeseburgers? That was in the 90s, though. Oh, what a time that was. 1988. And all the anniversaries. Oh, did you know Garfield's 10 years old? Did you know Superman's 50 years old? Yeah, I paid attention to those now. Like, because of those anniversary specials, I pay attention to the anniversaries of everything, including this. 35 years ago was my childhood, really. And I think once I got into 89, 90, my dad became a little more violent with me. Things were different. He was still drinking. 96 was my graduation. 98 was a very difficult time. I'll talk about that maybe tomorrow. Yeah. So if you like this video, tell me about your childhood. Tell me what you liked and didn't like. Oh yeah, I recognize some of this stuff. There's America's Most Wanted and Al Bundy. Yep, those are the shows. They used to show these graphic dramatizations. I still remember this one where the father, this black dude, beat his son with a shovel. Now, that was in the dramatization. I don't know if that really happened. I don't know if the dad actually hit his son with a shovel. Somebody must remember that and can tell me that they remembered that about the guy that was killing his children or killing somebody. Did they have Lunchables in 88? I don't remember that. I thought it was the 90s. And look at all this stuff. Turtles, Monsters Rock. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Oh, yeah. This is the Hulk. This is when the Hulk and Thor crossed over for the first time before Thor Ragnarok. Long before that. And then there was a Daredevil crossover. I never saw it. And the death of the Incredible Hulk. But I just watched that. And some of this other stuff. And you remember CBS cartoons, too, with Pee Wee Herman and Ernest. Anyway, that's it. A couple more videos to post.